Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Angel News, where we keep the original nation updated. My name is Nicolette Hodge. Sisters and brothers, the Angel News is here to keep you informed about our vision. This is part 3 of the Abrahamic Covenant, which is our vision, sisters and brothers. We are the true seed of Abraham. We endured 400 years of horror right here in America. And our vision identifies that we are leaving this country, this land of our imprisonment. Our vision, the Abrahamic Covenant, identifies exactly where our promised land is. And our vision gives us purpose. It gives us one common goal to unite under and to fulfill. The Abrahamic Covenant is under attack, sisters and brothers, by all of our enemies. Every nation is against the Abrahamic Covenant. They want our reward for themselves. And they are lying to you and deceiving you about who the true seed of Abraham is. These devils have claimed our covenant as their own. False Israel has stolen our identity and controls the way that we are portrayed on the media. This is a concentrated effort to prevent us from identifying who we are, and to also prevent us from identifying all of our enemies as well, sisters and brothers. However, Scriptures gives a detailed description of the horror that Abraham's seed would endure. And that is our true history right here in America, which is documented facts, which is clear evidence that we are the true seed of Abraham. So they cannot change our history. They cannot erase our sacrifice, nor can they erase the horrific actions that they took against us. Understand, sisters and brothers, that our history is what qualifies us to receive the promised land. So Sister Fatima will take us further into our newscast by identifying the true history of the original black man and woman right here in America.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. My name is Sister Fatima Hodge. We're going to get right into our topic for today, which is the Holocaust. Sisters and brothers, horror was the black man and black woman of America's true experience. They whitewash it and tell you that we went through slavery. However, sisters and brothers, slavery does not identify being raped, beaten, tortured, affliction. None of those words are in the definition of slavery. Slavery is just maximum profit and minimum overhead, sisters and brothers, and that's what everyone here that's working for America's industries are, slaves. So that's just a slap in the face to what our ancestors went through. They also call it critical race theory. They call the black man and black woman of America's experience a theory. And there is no theory about what happened to us, sisters and brothers. These are actual facts that can be proven. So them calling our experience a theory is another way to detour you from understanding and knowing your true history, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, we were raped, forced to carry master seed. The black woman was raped relentlessly. We were forced to carry babies that were not of us, sisters and brothers. And during that time, you had a group of blacks that were identified as house Negroes. The house Negroes were not just in the house because Massa favored this Negro. They were in the house because they were Massa's children. And they could only trust their children in the home. Their children that were produced from rape. Now, sisters and brothers, we have a nation that has corrupted our nation because they look like us, they talk like us, but they are not us, sisters and brothers. They don't think like us. They have a totally different nature. And this is from rape. A hybrid nation was produced from the black woman. From rape, sisters and brothers. So, they call our experience a theory, which is a complete insult to what the black woman of America had to experience, and the black man, sisters and brothers. However, the black woman was raped, relentlessly forced to carry Massa seed and produced their children. And they're camouflaged in with our nation now, corrupting our nation. Like cancer. And that's exactly what they are to our nation, a cancer to our nation. So, sisters and brothers, we must never forget the black man and black woman's true experience, which was horror. Sisters and brothers, the scriptures also identify this horror that the black man and black woman would experience. I'm going to read that. We're going to be reading out of Genesis chapter 15. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. All right, sisters and brothers. So it reads exactly what the black man and black woman of America would experience here in the hells of North America. And it also tells you when those who afflicted us will be judged. It said we will be brought to a strange land. And that's exactly what the black man and black woman of America experienced. We were brought to a strange land, which is America, in 1555. It took them 64 years to strip us of everything. It said we will be brought to a strange land, afflicted, enslaved as well, sisters and brothers. Enslaved and afflicted. And that's what is missing from all these narratives that are going around about the black man and woman. The affliction part of what we experienced, not just the slavery, the affliction, because the affliction was horror that was placed upon our nation. And the black man and black woman of America are the only nation that meets that description. From 1555, it took them 64 years to make us into slaves, to strip us of all that we knew, right? So our servitude started in 1619. 1619 to 2019 leads you to 400 years. And it said, you will be in this land for 400 years. And afterwards, will I judge that nation whom afflicted you, sisters and brothers. So 2019 was the 400-year mark. And 2020 started off with what? A plague. COVID-19. Sisters and brothers, that was the start of the sisters and brothers. That was the start of the black man and black woman's enemies' judgment. Their judgment started in 2020. Nothing in America has been the same since 2020. And as 2020 came in, we were living out Exodus, right? It would start off with a plague, right? And that's exactly what happened. Our enemies know what's taking place. That's why they shut down their whole economy. They were dying, sisters and brothers, because this is their judgment. And they knew this, but they don't want you to know that. Because then you'll start to question and figure out that they're being judged, right? For afflicting you. They don't want you to know that, sisters and brothers. They don't want you to know that. Because once our nation realized what was done to us, their nation is going to reap what they have sown. All right, sisters and brothers. With that, Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Sister Fatima. Brother David will take us further into our newscast by expounding on the Holocaust.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. It's David Hodge. Brothers and sisters, you'd be a fool to stay here in America, especially after all that was done to us. You'd be a fool to stay here in the land of your imprisonment. You would be a fool to forgive and love these devils for all that they've done to you and your ancestors. Your ancestors will be sick, completely ashamed of you, if they found out that you were partnering with Massa after all that we've been through. They wouldn't want anything to do with us, brothers and sisters, if they found out that we've been partying and sleeping with Massa, our open enemy, who has inflicted horror on us for years, hundreds of years. Just like the sister stated, 400 years of murder, rape, torture, torment, experiment, made us miserable in total oppression. This is our true experience. But these devils whitewash it and call it slavery, which slavery is not a good definition or expression of our true experience, because it leaves out the affliction that we suffered, brothers and sisters. It leaves out all the horror that we suffered and endured, which is 99% of our experience. These devils don't explain or tell you about. It was beyond. Our experience was beyond anything that I could describe in vivid detail, completely unimaginable. By far, the worst thing that has ever happened to anyone in human history. Our experience, which they are trying to cover up and sweep under the rug and call it CRT, critical race theory. But it wasn't no theory. It was the truth, actual facts, our true experience, being abused, beaten, whipped, fed like pigs, split your mouth open, knocked your teeth out, shoved shit and gunk down your throat, turned you into animals, stripped you of all knowledge, exploited you, experimented on you without anesthesia, sodomized, castrated, dismembered, disemboweled, dismantled, hung, starved, cut open, peeled alive, gutted, cooked alive, fried, burnt alive, made us unrecognizable, fed our children to gators, stomped our babies' heads open with the bottom of their horses' hooves, ripped our skin and hair off to make puppets and material objects for their pleasures, joined our mouths to our anuses, forming a human centipede. Literally, brothers and sisters, stitching our mouths to the other slave's anus, feeding the first slave pig intestines filled with feces, and waited until the time the slaves started to defecate and relieve the feces from the body into the other slave's mouth. And the process continued until it reached the last slave attached, resulting in their death. These devils are sick monsters, beasts. They completely dehumanized us past imaginable. And you'll be a fool to forgive, join, and sleep with these devils and help them continue to destroy our people. We want nothing to do with Massa, America, or their reparations. We want vengeance, payback, and complete separation. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother David. Brother Amir will take us further into our newscast by identifying the Abrahamic Covenant.
Thank you, sister. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters and brothers. It's your brother Amir Yusuf, and I'm bringing you the original nation's vision. And the original nation is the original black man and the original black woman living in America. And our vision is the Abrahamic Covenant, brothers and sisters. Oh yes, that is our vision. That is the path we are taking for what we went through, for the 400 years of horror that was afflicted upon us at the hands of the Caucasian white devils here in America, brothers and sisters. And our vision will unite us, will bring us together, brothers and sisters. And our vision is the Abrahamic Covenant. So let's get right into it. Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. Verse 18, in the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Now, brothers and sisters, that land that is described is our promised land. That's our reward for going through the 400 years of being tortured and afflicted. That's our birthright. And our birthright and reward is our promised land. And our promised land is Arabia, brothers and sisters. So we have to understand our covenant. We have to know where we've been which was through the 400 years of terror and horror and pain and suffering, to know where we're going, to get our reward and go home and get the hell up out of America. So as I come before you, brothers and sisters, I leave you with the peaceful greetings of Assalamu alaikum. It's your brother Amir Yusuf.
Thank you, Brother Amir. Brother Malik will take us further into our newscast by expounding on the Abrahamic Covenant.
Thank you, sister. Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. The Abrahamic Covenant is a promise from God to Abram, a promise for the land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Sisters and brothers, Arabia is the land that has been promised from God to Abram's seed. Sisters and brothers, the world is in denial of the truth of who we are. We are God's chosen people, the true seed of Abraham, the original black man and woman in America, who is hated, despised, and looked down on by every nation. Sisters and brothers, no nation wants to be connected or suspected as being one of the original black men or women in America. All will say it's suspected as being black. No, I am not black. I am from this country or that country, making sure they are not mistaken as one of us. Sisters and brothers, we are looked at as a nothing people without a name, a land, a people who is not entitled to be respected, a people with low morals who is seen as being lazy and has no identity, a laughing stock to our enemies. Sisters and brothers, we are the true seed of Abraham. We are that nation that all nations have been blessed by. Sisters and brothers, we are that nation they call Ham. We are the nation that they say are cursed black. Africans, the seed of Noah's son Ham, who is to be forever a slave and is to serve his brothers. Sisters and brothers, we are the nation that is being blocked and disconnected from understanding our vision. And a people or nation without a vision will perish. Sisters and brothers, our vision is the Abrahamic Covenant. Our vision is to return home to our land, Arabia, in peace, and to never be removed or uprooted again. Sisters and brothers, there is no nation, no people that can take the truth of our history or reality of the life that we have lived here in the hills of North America. 1619 to 2019, 400 years enslaved and afflicted. Sisters and brothers, the Abrahamic Covenant belongs to us, the original black man and woman in America. Do not let anyone take your vision. We have made a 400-year sacrifice, and now it's time to take back everything that they have taken from us, starting with the destruction of false Israel. Brothers and sisters, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that her desolation is near. First, we're taking our identity back with the destruction of false Israel, clearing the air of the lies and the religious eschatology that false Israel is the seed of Abraham. Sisters and brothers, false Israel's destruction is going to shock the world. However, false Israel's destruction is going to destroy the lie in our minds and make it totally clear that we are the true seed of Abraham and that the Abrahamic Covenant belongs to the original black man and woman in America. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Malik. Sisters and brothers, the Angel News keeps you informed so that we can safely secure the original nation. We will be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.